markets. Why for people studying marketing and communications, of course, it's important to understand, to research international markets. Any opinion, Maria, why that is important?
Because it opens more possibilities to grow.
Exactly right. If we research international markets and we find a fit, we find a market that could be, relevant to what we sell, then that will give us an opportunity to grow as a business, of course. So that is one reason, fantastic, to grow as a business. Nathan Fafa, another reason, please, why it is important for us marketing people to research international markets, please.
Because marketing international is very important to the company is growing up, grow up. Yeah.
That's correct. So that is what Maria said as well, to grow, for the company to grow. So that is one reason, all right, for the company to grow. What is another opportunity? What is another reason? Try to think about it. Try to think about it. So of course, that one is perfect, but that is just one. But there are many reasons. There are many reasons why we need to research international markets. What could be another one? Girarat, please.
The reason, right?
Yes.
I think because for you can use for reference, I'm not too sure how to call it. You can see the another international market, for learning and take it to use with your business.
Well, good one. I like it. It's important to research international markets to learn and to take those learnings to your business. That's a really good reason. I like it. Well done.
Thank you.
I will tell you another one, okay? That is very important. Don't forget it. Businesses, they don't work into, they need other businesses, like we business people, we need other business people to work with. In other words, we need suppliers. Do you guys know what suppliers are? Or can you give me an example of a supplier, Nathan Papa?
Supplier is not like franchise, right?
No, franchise is something different.
Client from company.
No, what a supplier is.
Someone that provides a service or a product.
That's it. It's another business that provides services, products, parts, components, advisory, consultancy to our business. All right. All businesses, all of them, they need suppliers. All of them. For example, if you have an online business, who could be your supplier? Give me an example. If you have an online, an e-commerce business, who could be your supplier, please?
Shopify, for example.
Shopify will be one. Another one, please.
HubSpot.
Also, the very company that is providing internet to you. So the internet company is a supplier too. All right. But if you only research local suppliers in your area, in your country, you may be, and actually very likely, you will be missing out on tremendous business opportunities outside your country, outside your local area. And that's one of the reasons that are very important for me. Good businesses, they don't need to be global, but they need to have a global mind. You know what I mean? You don't need to sell all over the world. That's not what I am telling you. And the purpose of this class, guys, by the way, is not for you guys to sell all over the world. That is something that you can do. It's one of the strategies that we have discussed in previous classes. Market expansion, market development. So that's good, but that is not the reason why we have this class. The reason why we have this class is because you need to find suppliers, providers, people that are outside your local area, outside your region, outside your country. The reason is we live in a digital world, in a world that is hyper-connected, isn't it? I mean, you can use Zoom, you can use LinkedIn, you can use emails, you can use your mobile phone to do or to call overseas. You have plenty of options to do international research. Because of that, because we live in a digital world, it will be silly not to capture overseas business opportunities, right? So that is important. So far, well done. We have two reasons. One reason for us to do international market research is because we want our company to grow. Actually, we have three reasons. That is one reason. The other reason is because we can learn. We can learn from what other companies are doing overseas and bring that learning to our own company, which is what Natafafa said. That is fantastic, really good reason. And the third reason that we have discussed is because we need to work with other businesses. And there is not a reason why we should only work with businesses in our local region, in our local area or country, right? Is there any more reasons why we should do or why we should run international market research? Yes, there is one more. There are trends. There are trends in the market, and we need to capture those trends in the market. Have a look at Australia. Australia is very, very behind, very, very well behind international marketing, commerce, fashion trends. Very behind. Like if something is happening in Europe and it's sticking, is working out in Europe, it may take 2-3 years for that trend to be in Australia. Or if something is happening in terms of product development, in terms of customer service, in terms of technology in the United States, it may take 5 years for that to arrive to Australia. Why? Because Australia is far. It's far. You know that. We far from the rest of the world. And also because we are so dependent on our own resources. And in doing so, we miss the opportunity to work with people from overseas. Now, how that is mitigated? How that is mitigated? Through migration. How that is mitigated? Through international students like you. But still, it's not enough. So that's why Australia is usually a little bit behind the rest of the world when it comes to advertising, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to product development, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to technology. We are behind. Now, once we take the technology, we are very, very active and we catch up because Australia is very good at doing that. We catch up, but we arrive late to the party usually. But countries like the UK, they are very, very ahead of the game. Countries like United States, they are ahead of the game. China, ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Have a look at what happened with TikTok. TikTok is a Chinese product. All right? And Facebook and Twitter and Insta and all of them, they didn't create TikTok. Why? Because they were late. They were so confident that people will be all time okay with the traditional media platforms. And no, now we see that TikTok is growing exponentially, for example. So that's why we need to be very, very good at catching up international trends. So we have 5 reasons, eh? One reason, because we want our business to grow. We want to open markets overseas. Good. Second reason, we want to learn. Third reason, all right, well, we could we could find better suppliers, better providers overseas. Yeah. We also can take advantage of what is happening over there and bring those, learnings to our business. And finally, to catch up with what is going on all over the world. So we have enough reasons now to understand why we need to do international market research. Now, what is market research though? What is market research? Guys, please make sure that you have your camera on, because otherwise it feels like it's just Maria and myself in the class, and that is not the case. So please have your camera on. That is important to all of us. Guys, all of you, we have 8 people in the class today. Please connect your cameras. Do that for your classmates and for your teacher. All right. So what is market research? Market research is a technique for us to find information. That's it. All right. I'm going to repeat it. Market research is a technique for us to find information. Now, the information has to be relevant, has to be interesting, and has to be opportune. So it's not like you are just trying to find any information. No. You know, if you have a business that is selling shoes, then you want to research markets and you want to get information around the shoes industry. But if you're selling shoes and you are doing market research for, I don't know, energy drinks, that is not relevant to your business. So we need to understand what is the purpose of our business, and then we need to find information overseas that will help our business to be more productive, to be more efficient, to be more commercial, to be more aggressive in the markets. All right. So that is market research. What is market research? It's a technique that we use to find information. So information is the currency. Information is the value, right? Right? Is it clear what market research is? Now, we have 2 different kinds of market research. Market research could be very, very simple or could be very, very complex. If you do very, very simple market research, well, you don't spend much money and you do the market research fairly quickly. If you do complex market research, you need to spend more money, and it will take you much more time to get the insights, the information that you need. Anyone knows what are these 2 types of market research? Anyone? All right. So we have something that is called quantitative market research. All right. And what is the other one? Anyone knows?
Qualitative.
And qualitative market research. So understanding that is super important, guys, because someone asks you, hey, you go and do market research. All right, wait, what type, what kind of market research should I do? What do you mean? Well, that person doesn't know, but you need to know, because that's why you study marketing and communications. All right. So we have 2 different kinds of market research: quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative is very complex because you need to have huge samples, huge populations, huge databases for us to get some insights. And also you need to do a lot of statistical and mathematical analysis for you to, break down those insights, for you to use them. All right. So it's a very complex technique that is usually supported by people that have knowledge in mathematics and statistics, algorithms, and so on. Do you have that? Probably not. So if you don't have those resources, if you don't have that team, if you don't have that money to do all these surveys and to analyze all of it, then we have an alternative that is called qualitative market research. Simple. And I love it. It's a really good market research technique. So when you do qualitative market research, you are not defining You are not defining the object of study in terms of percentages, or in terms of numbers, or in terms of measurements. No, you are defining the object that is being studied in terms of opinions and perceptions. So when we say, yeah, we did a market research and seems like New Zealand is a good market for us. That is qualitative market research. We are giving a quality to that market. What is the quality? Is a good market. What does it mean? It's a good market for us to penetrate. It's a good market for us to explore. It's a good market for us to start, doing some advertising campaigns. It's a good market for us to start searching for suppliers. All right. It means that the legislation, the language, the currency, the culture is kind of aligned with the Australian one. So we can, without doing a lot of research, we can fairly and quickly say that is a good market for our business. All right. So when we do qualitative, we don't give a number. We don't give a percentage. We don't give a measure to our analysis. When we do qualitative, we give our opinion, our perceptions about a particular market. All right. And also qualitative is done super quickly. You don't need to do surveys. You don't need to run the study through samples. All right. Anyone knows what is a let me just forget the name. Give me 1 second. A focus group. Anyone has heard about a focus group? The focus group technique. So you invite people to a room, for example, and you give people in that room 3 samples: Pepsi, Coke, and Sprite. And then you will ask them, hey, which one do you like? Which one do you like more? You don't give them the names, but out of these 3 drinks, which one? And people will say, I prefer number 1. That is qualitative market research. People is giving you your opinion, their opinions, their sentiments, their analysis, but it's not done through numbers. Now, if you tell people, all right, this drink is Coke, from 1 to 10, how much you like it? People say, I like it 7. Right, this other drink is Pepsi, how much you like it? From 1 to 10, I like it 8. So those numbers, they need to be pondered across the entire population, the sample that you have, for you to get an insight. That is quantitative, is much more complex. All right. Good. So yeah, it's just to give you like a short, fairly quick introduction to what is market research. Now, the results of the market research could be conclusive, or could be exploratory. All right. Conclusive, or regardless if you are using quantitative market research or qualitative market research, the results, you can label them. You can label your results and you can say, my results are conclusive. Or you may say, my results are exploratory. What is the difference? If our result is conclusive, what does it mean? What is the meaning of it? What the word conclusive is telling you?
Yeah, you have an answer that it went as expected, or
of course you solved the problem, and now you have a direction. And now you will tell the company, this is exactly what we need to do because I have conclusive results. So now we can make a decision and we will go to New Zealand because we have conclusive results. Now, if our results are not conclusive, it's because they are exploratory. What that is telling us? That is telling us that we are still in the process of analyzing more information. We are still in the process of doing more market research. We're still in the process of defining with management if this database is actually accurate or not. So exploratory market research will give you an indication, but not a direction. You see the difference between indication and direction? Indication will tell you, all right, the world is going that way, so you should go that way. You should. Whereas conclusive market research is, I don't care if the world is going that way. I go the other one. I will do. You make a decision. So that is extremely important. We need to manage this language when we do marketing, because one day someone may ask you to do market research, local market research or international market research. Do I like market research? No, I don't. Do I have to teach market research? Yes, I have to, because it's part of the program. And it's very important to know how something works before you say you like it, you don't like it anyway. I know a lot about market research. And that's what I can tell you. I don't like it. I don't use it. Me, Santi Vela, your teacher. But it's because I know what is conclusive market research, what is exploratory market research, what is quantitative market research, what is qualitative market research. I understand what is sampling. I understand what is standard variation. I understand what is the media. I understand what is the average. I understand how to use this information to make decisions or to give information to people that make decisions. I know that. So I can tell you, no, I don't use market research. But you as a business marketing student, you need to know first what market research is before you make a decision if you want to use it or not. Why I don't like it? Why I don't like it? I don't like it because it slows down innovation. And it allows competitors to eat your lunch, to be the first in the market. All right, so I'm going to repeat it. Why I don't like it? Your teacher, Santi Vela. I don't like it because it slows down innovation. And also because it gives a chance to your competitor, because you are very slow, because you are a planner, because you are just, crunching numbers, and you are just researching and reading. You are not doing, you are just planning and researching. It gives an opportunity to your competitor to be the first. So that's why I don't do it. But that is my perspective. It doesn't mean that you need to do it, but I just want you guys to know my perspective. Now, let's talk about these two perspectives. Lorena, why, according to me, why market research could eventually slow down innovation? Why? Lorena ran away. Oh, come on, Lorena. It's just a question. Come on, go ahead.
I missed the very first part of the lesson, just a few minutes.
All right. We're talking about what, Lorena? What is the topic of the class?
Market research.
Yeah, international market research. Good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We have two main types of market research. They are? No.
Don't know.
Don't know. All right. One is quantitative. All right. What is the other one? Qualitative. All right. But you need to take notes. Guys, look, you should be, taking notes, trying to learn this. All right. Important because you will be asked at some point in your career to do market research. So people don't know about this. I'm telling you, like your manager, your boss may just tell you, do market research. Hold it. What type? Quantitative or qualitative? Quantitative will take me 6 months and $20,000. Qualitative will take me 2 days and $200. But qualitative will give me results in terms of opinions, feelings, perceptions, not facts. Whereas quantitative will give me facts. Example, when COVID vaccines were launched to the market, remember that like 2 years ago? Right. When they were launching to the market, what sort of research they were using? Quantitative or qualitative? What do you think? When they launch it, not now, when they launch it. What do you think?
Qualitative.
Qualitative, because they didn't have databases yet. They didn't have that. They didn't have that. So they have an opinion. The doctors, the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the government. They have an opinion. They had a perception. They had a feeling. They had an agenda, a plan, and they say, look, we have to vaccinate ourselves. Right? That is qualitative market research. Quantitative market research will be done now. Now that, the vast majority of population has been vaccinated, now they can go and say, all right, we are going to take some samples in Argentina. We're going to take some samples in Australia. We're going to take some samples in USA, and so on and so on. And we are going to see if the vaccine works or not. Now we can do quantitative. But what will happen? It will be super expensive to do that. And it will take the agency that is doing the market research months, if not years, to give us the results. So it's extremely important to understand the difference between these two. And another thing, imagine that you have a business and you sell, sunglasses. You sell sunglasses, sunnies, as we say in Australia. You sell sunnies. All right, cool. And your business goes and say, look, what about if we go to Peru, and we go to Lima, which is a big city in Peru, and we open our office, a branch in Peru, and someone will say, no, wait, before we do it, let's do the market research. Let's find out if people actually buy sunnies in Lima. And then you go, all right, let's do exploratory. Right? So let's just define quickly if that is a good market for us or not. What would you do? You yourself or your group of marketing people, you will travel to Lima, Peru, and what you will do? You will be observing people. You'll be in the street and observing people to find out if people is using sunnies or not. And then you will get an opinion after 1 day, 2 days in Lima, Peru. And then you will say, you know what? No, Lima, Peru is so cloudy. It's so cloudy, that city, because it is. It's difficult to see the sun, that people don't use sunnies. So no, let's move. Let's open the branch in Florida that is sunny. Good, because you got the results so quickly, and the only money that you spent was the tickets. That is exploratory market research. Qualitative market research. Now, if you go to Lima, Peru, and then you say, all right, I will do a quantitative market research. What you need to do? You need to find out how many people live in Lima, Peru. All right, cool. And then you need to say, out of these millions of people, what is the percentage of people that is 18 years old or over? Because that is the people that use sunglasses, like kids, they don't. Kids, they don't. And it's not because they're expensive, it's because they just lose them. All right? It's because they just lose them. Right? Adults, they are more responsible with this kind of objects, so you look after them. So you say, all right, this is the population. We are going to do a study, people 18 up to 50 years old. Why not 55? Because when people is 55, usually they need to use, glasses to see. And that creates a barrier to use the product, isn't it? So you get that sampling, and then you need to do the surveys. You need to go and talk to them. Hey, you, person from Lima, Peru, 20 years old, do you use sunglasses? Yes, I use sunglasses. All right, are these sunglasses for you to read or for you to protect from the sun? Oh, for me to read, would you be interested in sunglasses to protect the sun? No, because I need to read. Okay, bye. And then the next person, and so on and so on and so on. Expensive and time consuming. So it's just for me to give you a quick kind of understanding of quantitative versus qualitative. And another example, and with this one I finish, I promise. All right. All right. If I have to say, we have, I don't know, probably 50 students in this class. First class after the break, by the way. That's why maybe we don't have a lot of students. Actually, we do, but they don't have the camera on. All right. But I may say, all right, I may say straight away, without doing analysis, I may say 70% of people in the class are from South America. That is quantitative or that is qualitative?
Quantitative?
Is quantitative because I'm giving a number. Do you see? 70%. All right. But is that conclusive or is that exploratory? That result that I gave you. It's exploratory because I cannot make a decision about it. I am not 100% sure. I just saw the cameras and I just, brought that information to my mind. But that is actually pretty good, guys. That's what I want you guys to learn from this class. All right? In this day and age, quantitative, conclusive market research is your enemy. That's what I want you guys to learn. In this day and age, quantitative market research that will offer conclusive results of your market research is your enemy. Why? Because that technique will slow down dramatically innovation. It will slow down innovation to the point that you will be obsolete in no time if you only rely on market research that is conclusive. And also, it will open an opportunity for your competitors to be the first in the market. So I need you guys to be aware of it. You need to use critical thinking, all right? Why market research may slow down innovation? Why?
Because the research is based on what it's going on in the market, and it's not something new.
Exactly right. Exactly right, guys. When you do market research, you are reading the market. You are reading what is happening in the market. And if people is frank with you, you're lucky. Because it's not usually what happens. When people is giving information, they just want to get out of that situation. No one likes to be studied. No one likes to be interviewed. No one likes to be questioned. No, unless you're paying money. If you pay money, if you say, look, I will pay you $50, but you will fill this questionnaire. All right. All right, cool. All right. $50, I will fill it. I will do the same. Have you noticed that sometimes you see in Facebook, all right, we're looking for people to answer some surveys, questionnaires, and we will pay $50 per. That is quantitative market research that is supported by a budget. That's what I was telling you, that is very expensive. Because market researchers know that will give more accurate results. But if you go to the street and you stop people and you smile them, and, oh, look, you are doing a market research. Will you give me 2 minutes, please? Because I need to fill this survey for my university. I fill this survey for my company. From $10 to $20, will you pay for this product? Yes or no? And people will lie to you. So it's a waste of time. It slows down innovation because innovation never, listen up, innovation is never done in terms of previous experiences. Innovation is never done in terms of what was done before. Innovation is never done in terms of what experiences people have had before with our products or services. Do you think that, just to give you another example, do you think that, you know who is Steve Jobs? Yeah, everyone knows Steve Jobs here. Yeah. When the first iPhone was launched, who remembers what was the phone in the market at that time? The most expensive one, the best one.
The BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry. The BlackBerry. That was the phone. I mean, they were Nokias, you know, they were Motorola's, but they were normal phones. You know? But the BlackBerry was like, wow, the BlackBerry. Now, you tell me, the iPhone, the first one, was like a BlackBerry? Yes or no? No. The interface was different. The applications were different. The entire user experience was total. Why? Because Steve Jobs did not like market research. Because he was a real innovator. He was a real innovator. So he said, don't look at the BlackBerry researchers. Don't look at the BlackBerry or the Nokia's product developers. Don't ask people what they want. You give me your perception, your ideas about what should be the phone of the future. But don't look at the BlackBerries. If you look at the BlackBerry, then the iPhone will be another phone with buttons. If you ask people in the street, hey, we are Apple computers, we want to develop a new phone. How would you like that phone to be? What people will tell you, maybe, oh yeah, look, we want bigger buttons. That's what we want. We want bigger buttons. Because people never had an idea of that interface. It was the genius of Apple that came out with that idea. But for people, you know, you remember the game Tetris with the buttons? That was all about it, about the feeling of those buttons. So that's why we don't ask. Another good example, Henry Ford. Anybody knows who is Henry Ford here? Yeah? All right. Henry Ford. I mean, why is so important Henry Ford to us? Who knows the answer? Why Henry Ford is so important to us? What was the most important invention of Henry Ford?
The car.
No, that's what majority of us think. What is it?
The way to produce cars?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
the chain?
The production line. The production line. That, and then he got the car, right? But that is what, that's why we live in the world that we live in today. Because someone thought, all right, let's have a production line and people will be specialized in one task. And then the line will move. And another group of people that is specialized in the second task, they will do the second task, not the first one. And then it will move on, and you will have another group of people that is specialized in the third task, and they will do only the third task, not the second one and the number one, or the first one. Before the production line, one person or one group of people, they were doing the entire thing, manufacturing. Artisans, they do the entire thing. But Henry Ford was like, no, I will train people to be specialized in welding, and they will be doing the welding. I will have people that is specialized in electronics. They will be doing only the electronics, not the welding. That is the invention that he created. But when it comes to cars, which is the result of it, if he goes to the street and they ask, before the combustion engine cars, the ones that Henry Ford created, what was the transportation method before cars? Who remembers? Or who knows? What was the transportation?
Yes.
What was it?
Trains or horses?
In terms of things that people can own, let's say horses, because trains, that was more for cities, governments, and so on. All right, so horses. If Henry Ford goes and asks people, hey, look, I am Henry Ford, I am developing a car company, because horse cars, they will call cars too. How would you like to have your next car? What people would tell Henry Ford?
What do you mean?
So at that time,
They don't know what it is.
what is that?
They don't know what it is. It doesn't
No. The cars, no.
That's without the horse.
But at that point, they didn't even, imagine that possibility. But which is probably what Lorena is saying, correct? But the horse car, it was still a car, all right? So if you ask people at that time, what is how you want the next car to be, they may tell you, I want the next car to have, instead of 3 horses, to have 6 horses.
Yeah.
Because and that's why we cannot do market research, my friends. Because that stops innovation. You don't ask people, because if you ask people what they want, they will take in consideration previous experiences, and they will give you a new one with a tweak or 2. That's why it's so important to understand the purpose of this class. The purpose of this class is that you learn what market research is, and that you know when to use market research, when to use it. More important, guys, more important than the how is the when. In marketing, more important than how to do something is when to do something, the timing of it. So that is what I want you guys to realize from this class. Market research in this day and age is counterproductive because it slows down innovation. Why? Again, if you spend 6 months, 1 year doing market research, you will lose the opportunity to be the first one in the market. Other companies all over the world, Taiwan, Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, South America, they will not be doing market research. When you don't do market research to define a product, to design a product, what you do instead? That is the key word. What you do instead, right? You are in your kitchen, you have some ingredients. You have rice, you have butter, you have salt, you have pepper, you have some capsicums, you have some, I don't know, whatever. You have some ingredients in your kitchen, in your pantry. And you have some people in the house, friends, family, whatever. What would you do? One option is you go and ask people, hey, what do you want to eat tonight? That is what? That is market research, isn't it? What is the other option?
Just being creative, like.
Yeah, keep going.
Try new things.
And that new thing that you didn't ask has a name, and that name is called a prototype. Prototype. All right. So that first day you don't ask people, and then you serve the food and you say, hey, look, didn't ask you tonight what you wanted to eat, but I had these ingredients and I don't know, but this is what I created. I don't know, you will like it. People, this is disgusting. We were not, all right, sorry about it. I will try my best next time. But you didn't lose precious time asking people what they want to eat. People may say, this was delicious, all right, keep doing this. And this is the purpose of not using market research. When you don't use market research, you can do something that is called fast prototyping. Fast prototyping. Guys, fast prototyping is the answer to not doing market research. Have you heard about the terminology called failing fast? Failing fast, that's what I mean. In this day and age, failing is okay. What is not okay is failing after 3, 6 months, 1 year of doing market research. That's not good. Because you spend a lot of resources, you spend a lot of time doing that market research. But if you fail badly, but in a matter of 2 weeks, that's good. That should be celebrated because you didn't spend all the resources that we have available in terms of people, money, and time. So it's about prototyping, fast prototyping. Guys, anyone knows Swinburne University in Melbourne? Anyone has heard about Swinburne? No one? Anyone in Melbourne here?
Yeah.
Me, but I haven't heard about that.
All right. There is a university that is called Hawthorne. In Hawthorne. Hawthorne is the neighborhood. Swinburne University. They love. If you study with them, they will tell you the entire story about fast prototyping. They don't allow the students to be planners, to be researchers. Because it's so risky to be up. It's better to fail fast. Whatever you're thinking to develop in the future, if you spend 3 months, 6 months, believe me, there will be someone in China, there will be someone in Singapore, there will be someone in Australia, there will be someone in whatever that they will be doing fast prototypings about something similar compared to what you're doing. So that's why we need to be aware of it. All right, cool. So I reckon the message of the class has been delivered. Yeah. Now we know what is market research. Quickly, what is market research? Once again, if you need to define market research, now what is the answer to that? What is market research? Quickly.
Find information about the market.
Is exactly, but it's a technique to find information about the market. Good. Actually, the way I explained it before, when Juan Manuel wasn't here, I say market research is a technique to find information. That's it, right?
But I was listening to you. Sorry, Santi, but yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
And you said it was one quantitative and qualitative.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was
So
listening. So, but I couldn't have my camera on.
No worries, my friend. But it's important to know and to remember that word information, because information is the new currency. Is the new currency. Like it truly matters. In South America, in some countries, when you go to the supermarket, in Australia, it's not happening yet. But in South America, if you go to the supermarket, sometimes, actually not sometimes, majority of times, before they start scanning the products, they will ask you, the person in the register, in the cashier, they will ask you, hey, what is your ID number? Why? Give me 1 second, guys. They ask you, what is your ID number? Because after 3 months of you buying in that shop, they have a profile of who you are. They know what you eat. They know what you don't eat. They know the frequency you eat that shit. And that allows them to create a profile about you as a customer and what they do with that information. If they are good companies, they will use that information for their own sake, for their own marketing. But majority of companies don't do that. You know what they do with that information? They sell it. So why they sell it? Because that is the currency. Information is the new currency. We need to be very, very careful when we give our information. If we are not getting real value out of we providing information, don't give your name to people. Don't give your phone to people. Your telephone number, I mean. Don't give your email to people, because you will be part of a huge database. Since a lot of people understand that the currency is not the dollar, is not gold, it's information. That is the real currency. So if that is the case, instead of we going that way, let's develop fast prototypes as fast as we can. Another mistake, talking about this, you developing a new business, you have a new logo, all right? And what you do when you are not yet, confident or not informed about what you should do. You have a new logo, what you do? You go and you ask your friends. You ask your family. And what is the question? Do you like this logo? When you ask people, what is that? Market research, isn't it? That is market research. So we don't do that. Instead of we asking people, we launch it, but we use some techniques. One technique is called A/B testing. Anyone, probably Maria has heard about A/B testing, yeah? So we do A/B testing. We do one logo with pink and the other one with green. They are exactly the same logos, but one is pink. And then we launch a campaign, one campaign with the pink one and the other one with the green one. And we see how people react to them without we asking them which one they like the most. And then now we have real information, you see. Again, don't ask people what they want, because if you ask them what they want, they will give you the answer based on their own personal perceptions, and we don't want that. We are better than that. All right, cool. All right, and then we finish the class, or the first part of the class, talking a little bit about the differences in terms of the results. Exploratory results, you have an idea of what you need to do. But when you have conclusive market research, it's because you have a direction now. You have a decision in terms of what you need to do. All right, cool. So that is the starting point of this class. Go now to accelerate, open the lesson. We need to do a very short case study about a company that wants to open New Zealand. A company that wants to open New Zealand. All right? So open please the accelerate lesson, and let's have a read to that particular case study. I'm going to read it to you, by the way. Right, companies have always an interest of exploring new market opportunities. Your responsibility is to help your manager to identify international market opportunities as a result of your research. All right? Now, your research has led you to discover international market opportunities in New Zealand. Now, you need to provide a report to your manager with all the resources they need. The company needs to begin the process of expanding your business into this country. What information that report should include? What information your manager, your boss is asking you, hey, you go and explore New Zealand. You need to provide a report to your manager. What information should that report include? What is the number one information that you should include? Tell me.
The market size.
The market size. Give me another word to say the same.
Growth. The growth opportunity.
No, the market size and the growth opportunity is not the same, but the market size will be the same. What is the population of New Zealand? Remember, guys, what I explained to you about what a market is. Anyone remembers that from that class? What is a market? You guys don't remember from that class?
Santi, we are in number 8, right?
No. We are in the number. We are the number 1, I believe. Let me see. Probably I am.
No, I mean in the learning plan.
It all depends. It all depends when you started. So you could be number 8, somebody else could be
Is
number
undertake
2. No.
undertake marketing activities or analyze consumer behavior?
No, the one after consumer behavior. Develop or research international markets. 432.
Okay, yeah.
432 is the code.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. For the previous unit, analyze consumer behavior, you need to catch up because we had a Good Friday last week, remember? So we had public holiday that day. So try to catch up. If you need help for the observation assessment, let me know. And we'll do a one-to-one. But this class is the 432 Research International Markets. So please, you need to provide this report to your manager, and the manager will judge you as a professional depending on how good that report is. So I am trying to help you so you have a good report as a result of your market research. The first point is what Maria has said. All right, what is the market size? But Maria, the reason you use that word, market size, is because you are very familiar with marketing, business, and market research. But somebody else may not understand you, right? So that's why I am trying to ask you, Maria, or anyone else, what would be another equivalent word for us to describe market size? And the equivalent word is called, what is the population?
Yeah, like demographic.
Demographics. Exactly right. What is the population of New Zealand? What is the population of New Zealand, by the way? Anyone knows? Should be about 5 million, 6 million, something like that. All right, but no more than that. But
5.1 million.
All right. Yeah, okay. There you go. Good. Small country, isn't it? Very, very small country. Like if you go to New Zealand, you need to have a very powerful reason why to go to New Zealand. Seriously. What could be a good reason for a business in Australia to go to New Zealand?
Tourism?
Yeah, but what could be that? Tourism is a good industry there. All right, cool. But if you are in Australia, all right, imagine this, please. You are in Australia. Give me a good reason to go to New Zealand to develop businesses over there.
A reason would be because I'm not sure about their land, but probably maybe they cannot have many variety of food. So maybe some kind of products that cannot be developed there.
All right, cool. No, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is, forget about your business, forget about your products. For any business in Australia, what could be a good reason to explore New Zealand as a next market opportunity? What is the next more logical reason?
You have a low competition.
No, I know that. But what is the most logical reason why a company in Australia may be interested in expanding to New Zealand? What is the particularity between Australia and New Zealand?
Same language, same pretty much. Same,
okay, cool. But guys,
traditions?
No,
like that?
Yes, okay, cool. All of that counts too. But that's not the number one.
It's close.
That's it, proximity. Thank you, Maria. You got it, Juan?
Yeah.
That's more important than anything else. Proximity. I mean, New Zealand, you go and you take a flight and you are in New Zealand in 1 hour. Or you take the boat, Spirit of Tasmania, and you are there in 6-7 hours. So proximity is a really good reason. But apart from that one, culture, all right, you have also similar, I don't know. For me, New Zealand is not attractive though, because the market size population is so small. We're talking about 5.1 million. what country in Asia Pacific I will go if I want to expand my business? Which one will you go? If you really want to expand your business, Maria, remember that was the first reason you gave me today. Remember? Today you gave me that reason when I asked you guys, give me reasons why we need to research international markets. Maria went because that will give us an opportunity to expand, to grow our business. And I was, well done, Maria. All right, cool. So if that's true, if that's exactly what you believe, what could be a good country in Asia Pacific for you to expand? Indonesia, guys. Indonesia is outstanding. It's a small country with 280 million people. Understand what I mean? You see the difference, guys, between 280 million and 5 million. I am worried about New Zealand. I am very, very worried. As a market, New Zealand is in trouble. So that's what we want to analyze. All right. What are the reasons for us to go to a market? Proximity is one of them. Perhaps the most important one, because the further a country is, the more expensive the transport will be, isn't it? For you to send goods. If you send services, that's different. But goods, that will be really, really, really expensive for you to send. Have you noticed why everything is so expensive in Australia? Because it's so far from everything and from everywhere. So Australia is a very expensive country. And it's because it's far away from Europe. It's far away from America. It's far away from Africa. It's far away from South America. All right. It's close to China. All right, cool. And that's why majority of clothes are from China. And that's why majority of toys and white goods and everything that you can think about came from China because of the proximity, isn't it? But the market size is important too. Now, the culture, the language is very important too, Juan Manuel. I agree with that. Thank you. Another very important reason, another important factor, that we have to analyze is the legislation of that country. The stability of that country. Legislation of Indonesia is not good for you to open your business in Indonesia. So Indonesia, fantastic in terms of numbers, in terms of people, 280 million. I don't know, can anyone check what is the exactly number for Indonesia, but it should be around that. Let's say 280 million.
200, okay. Yeah, yep. It's kind of 273 million.
Awesome. So in terms of population, 273 million, fantastic. It sounds like a very attractive market. But if you go to New Zealand and you try to open a business in New Zealand, you will not be able to do that. Why not? Because legislation does not allow foreign investors to open businesses in Indonesia unless you open that business with someone, with a partner from Indonesia. And that is difficult. Believe me. The partner, the guy from Indonesia will ask you straight away 50% because they know what is the size of that market. They will tell you, okay, do you want the permit to sell your courses here? Do you want the permit to sell your honey, your clothes here in Indonesia? Or you need me because I'm from Indonesia. You have such a good business in Australia and you want to be in Indonesia, you give me 50% of your business now. Or 50% is too much. So you start having issues, all right? That's why a lot of companies are not in Indonesia. They don't want to open the market. They use something that is called protectionism. Protectionism is when countries, they protect their local industries, so overseas companies don't come and compete with them. But problem, the quality of the local products are not that good. That is the problem. So protectionism, really good. but it has another side of the coin. The quality of the products is not that good. Now, if you go to Australia from South America or from Europe, the government will be telling you, please open a business. Have you noticed that when you get to Australia, what is one of the first things that you need to get to work as a waiter or as a cleaner or as a contractor? What is the first thing that you need to get?
The tax file number.
The tax file number. And for you to have the tax file number, when you have the tax file number, that will allow you to open or to have something else so you can be hired as a contractor. What is the name of it? So you can
What is it?
What is that? So you have the tax file number. The tax file number is so you can pay your taxes as an individual person, you know, to the government. You have tax file numbers when you want to work as an employee, someone that is working for a different company. Once you have that tax file number, you can have something else that will allow you to have your own business. What is the name of it?
It's ABN. Right?
ABN.
But I don't remember the...
That's it. The ABN, the Australian business number. The ABN, that is a business because you have a number. You have a number. You have a business. You understand what I mean? Now you can send invoices with that ABN. And a lot of people in Australia, when they arrive, one of the first things they do is to have the ABN because that will allow them to send invoices. You understand the pleasure of sending invoices? The pleasure of sending invoices is extraordinary and is much better and much more meaningful than the pleasure of receiving a paycheck every fortnight, to be honest. But in Australia, you can do that. That's why I tell people, why you don't open a business in Australia? Oh, because I can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, I see people in Facebook, oh, I am moving to Australia. I am studying in Australia for 2 years. Please, someone help me. Someone help me to find a job. And I am like, come on, someone help me so I can open an ABN. What is the process? How much is it? That is a different perspective. Indonesia will not allow you to have a business number because they don't want overseas students, people, to interfere, to integrate with the business culture in that country. Take advantage of it. So again, I'm just trying to give you an overview of, all right, if you want to provide this report to your manager, what you need to provide, once again, market size, population. That's number one. What else you need to provide? Legislation of that country. What else you need to provide? Competitors that you will have in that country. What else you need to provide? What one was telling us, what is the culture of that country and the language? The currency, that will be a nice addition too. And if you want to add, what is the currency exchange? What is the rate? All right. How many pesos will you get for $1? And that also is good. All right. Because importers and exporters, they have good or bad times depending on how the dollar goes. Right? If you are in if you're in Australia, guys, and the Aussie dollar becomes very, very powerful, like 1-to-1, what is the percentage difference between Australian dollars and American dollars? Anybody knows? No idea?
Not sure.
But briefly, quickly, tell me what do you have in mind?
Around 0.6 US dollars.
Correct. That's what I mean, guys. If we study international markets, we need to know that. We need to know, all right, for $1 Australian dollar, I will get 0.6. I reckon it's a little bit more, to be honest. Juan, can you do me the favor? Can you do me the favor and tell me what is the exchange rate today?
0.68, yes.
All right, 0.68. Let's say for the sake of the argument that is 0.7, all right? 0.7. If you are in Australia, and you are exporting goods, you are sending goods from Australia to your country, what is better? That the Aussie dollar is very, very, very strong, or that the Aussie dollar is very, very, very weak if you are exporting? Think about it. Don't give me the answer. Think the other way then. If you are in Australia and you are importing from overseas, what is better? That the Aussie dollar is strong or weak? Think about it. But it's just for me to give you an opportunity to think about critical things in e-commerce and also in international commerce. The currency exchange is critical. The government changes the value of the currency to protect the most important industries. What is one of the most important industries in Australia? Tell me. What is the industry number one in Australia? Go.
Agriculture.
No. What is the number one industry in the country? It's not education, but education is number two. Agriculture is number three. What is the number one? Natural resources and mining. Mining, Perth, Brisbane, Northern Territory, mining. All right? Mining. Iron, lithium. We use, what is happening with lithium nowadays? Why we need lithium and a lot of it? Why?
For phones.
And
Or
what else?
technology.
Yeah, but right now, what is the industry that is asking for more lithium in the world?
Apple.
Yeah, but no, even more. Apple, they ask for a lot of it, but they need in big sizes, cars. Well done, Ohan. Automotive, Tesla, and all these Chinese companies that are producing electric cars. They need a lot of it, a lot of lithium. And happens to be, listen up, that Australia is one of the major producers of lithium in the planet. And there is another just let me double check. Guys, Bolivia, if I say Bolivia, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Bolivia number two. Bolivia is surrounded by lithium. They will have all the lithium, they will be rich. Like Bolivia, oh my goodness. So let's go back. If Australia is a powerhouse in terms of exporting lithium, in terms of exporting iron gold, in terms of exporting steel, in terms of exporting charcoal, and all of these resources that we have, natural resources from mining, what is better for the country? That the dollar is below the American dollar or above the American dollar? Below. Of course, because that means that other countries can buy more. But if the Australian dollar is like 1-to-1 to the American dollar or 1-to-1 to the euro, people will say, oh my goodness, lithium is so expensive in Australia. I will buy it from Bolivia or from Chile. So these are the sort of things that we need to analyze. All right, guys. So that is for the question number one of that lesson. You know, you need to think about what is that report should provide. Once again, legislation, competitive analysis, market size, culture, language, and currency exchange. All right? Keep that in mind because you will need that for the online quiz too. Any questions so far, guys? No? All right, cool. So half of the class, let's have a 10 minutes break, and then we continue with the rest of the lesson after the break. All good? See you in 10.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for. Let's resume the class, please. So I will give you 2 minutes to connect your cameras. So we continue with the lesson. All right, point number 2. Point number 2, guys, when profiling international markets, we need to compare opportunities and threats. We need to find out what are the potential risks of we opening a new market, and what could be the mitigation strategies for us to reduce those risks or the impact of those risks. Now, there is a technique that is called the PEST analysis. So what PEST analysis stands for? So the P is for political factors. E stands for economic factors. S, social factors. And T, technological factors. We business people, we marketing people, we communications people, I don't know, I don't care about the label. Let's just call you or call me business people. You know, like the first letter of that analysis, the PEST analysis, the first one, the political analysis, is super important. It's super important. Like political decisions will impact our business. There is nothing that we can do about it. It's part of the market. It's part of what we do. We are surrounded by legislations. Those legislations are designed, are published, are accepted and endorsed by politicians. So the political arena, the political ambience of a country matters, and matters a lot. Do you want to go to Venezuela to do businesses? Probably not, because you will be paid in bolivars, and that is nothing, close to zero. And that's why companies have a really bad time going to Venezuela. Do you want to go to Argentina to open the business there? Probably not, because the currency is so devaluated today that if you get paid in oh my goodness, what is the name of the currency, Maria? You know,
Argentinian pesos.
Argentinian pesos.
No, sorry.
If you get paid in Argentinian pesos, you may have a difficult time as a businesswoman, as a businessman, since that will not reflect the nature of your business when you translate that to dollars. Countries like Ecuador, they faced that situation, but they moved quickly to the dollar. Or countries like Panama, they had that very same situation, and they moved quickly to the dollar. And now they trade in dollars. So we need to be aware of the political environment, what is happening. You know, if you're an American and you want to open a business in Russia, it's going to be difficult because the government is asking for Americans to return to America and leave Russia as soon as possible because of the possibility of the intensification of the conflict. So understanding the political arena is important. Understanding who is in power is important. Understanding what is the political party that is in power matters to you. It may be really good for you as a business. Like, for example, let's say that you have like you have a business in the solar energy industry. You know the solar panels and so on. Yeah. And you are in Australia and you want to open a solar panel business, I don't know, anyway, New Zealand, Sydney, Melbourne. What do you want? Do you want Labour to be in power, or do you want the Liberals to be in power? What do you think? All right, I'm going to repeat it. Probably I wasn't clear. You need to develop a new business and you end doing a solar panels, solar energy shop. You sell solar panels to houses in Australia. What do you prefer? What is better for you as a business person? I'm not talking what is better to you as a person. I am talking what is best for you as a business person. Labor or the Liberals? If you are in Australia.
What was the two options? Labor,
So,
what is that?
Labor. Yeah.
I don't know what is labor, sorry.
The political in Australia, there are two major political parties: Labor.
Okay. Yes.
They are in
But
power
I didn't
now.
know.
They are in power now. And the Liberals. All right.
Liberals. Okay.
That is the other political party, and then you have the Greens, and then you have One Nation, and then you have the coalition. But the big two political parties in Australia, Liberals and Labor. So
okay, I guess the one is in power now.
Labor, correct. Yeah. So the red ones is Labor, and the blue ones, the Liberals in Australia. So if you have a business around solar energy, what is better for you, Labor or Liberals? And if you don't know, that's okay. Tell me, I don't know.
For now, I would say the one is in power now, like Labor's, but in terms of their philosophy, probably the Liberals will be better for use this kind of new way of energy system, But at this moment, I would say like Labor's, because they have the power now, so you can make business with them because they rule the country at the moment.
All right, cool. Probably I didn't ask the question properly then. You have a solar energy business today, and let's say that the election is next month. It's not, but let's say that the election is next month. What you will be voting, I mean, which political party you want to be in power, Labor or Liberals? Which political party will support more a business that is selling solar energy, Labor or Liberals?
Liberals.
No. Labor. But that's okay. But that's okay. That's okay. Like the reason why Labor will support more a company that is selling solar power is because Labor, they are pro climate change. They are pro taxing fuels. They are pro minimizing combustion engines. They are pro energy efficient vehicles. They are pro limitations for people to use products that are not helping or minimizing the impacts of global warming. Whereas Liberals, they don't care. They will tell businesses that is up to you, and they will tell people that is up to you. You make your own decision. So if Labor is in power, quickly they will launch campaigns for people to buy solar panels. They will give people they will give people money for they to buy those solar panels. Same situation. If you are in the electronic vehicles industry, you will prefer Labor. Now, if your company is a company that is selling, I don't know, let me think, that is selling big pickup trucks, the big ones, the ones that have, like V8 engines and so on. And that is the market that you want to go after, people that wants to buy these big cars. What do you want? You prefer the Liberals, because the Liberals don't create legislations that will limit people to buy what they want. That's why, you know, they are more for the free market, whereas labor is more for the control markets, for protectionism, protect the industries, the local industries that the government believe are the most important ones for them, right? So that's why we need to know the political environment. Like in USA, who is in power now in USA? What political party is in power? Republicans or Democrats?
Republicans, no?
No, Democrats. Right now, Democrats. And Joe Biden is the leader of the Democrats, isn't it? That's why, you know, guys, you need to know this. Who is in Argentina? Alberto Fernandez, isn't it? We need to know, we need to do this. Who is in Mexico? López Obrador, yeah? And we need somehow to understand, to understand this. Who is in Australia? Australian Prime Minister? No idea? Anthony Albanese? No idea? Okay, guys, please start changing your mind about that. We business people, we need to be very active. It's not that we need to play with those rules. No, that's not what I'm telling you. Is that you need to know who is in power, what political party they represent, which political party is better for you in terms of the business that you want to have. You know, if you have an oil company, you sell oil, petroleum, and you try to go to USA, it's not going to be good because Joe Biden is against the use of fuel. But if you have a project that will be selling renewable energy, Joe Biden will be opening the market for you. You know, so we need the first aspect of the international market research, which is called the political analysis, has to be always in front of you. Has to be. Guys, have you noticed what is happening, for example, in Salvador, or what is happening in Ukraine, or what is happening recently with Israel? You know, we need to be aware of all those situations with Syria and Israel last week. Because anything could happen. And we need to know what to do with our businesses if things go badly for us. All right? Like a lot of companies that were in Venezuela, they fled the country and they went to Aruba, they went to Curacao, they went to all these small islands in order to keep running their businesses. Right, so that is the first aspect. We need to be aware of political situations. The second one is the economical analysis. That's why it's called PEST. Economical analysis. What is happening with the economy nowadays? Have you heard about the BRICS? The alliance between Russia and China and Brazil to develop a new currency that will be competing with the American dollar. Have you heard about it? So that is important for us to know, because the currency that we use nowadays to trade is the dollar, isn't it? Everything is trading dollars, but Russia is not happy with it. China is not happy with it. Brazil is not happy with it, and they want to develop a new currency. So we need to be aware of those situations in terms of what is the economical analysis. What is happening with cryptocurrencies? Cryptocurrencies went up by 10% last week, but they went down by 20% 3 weeks ago. So we need to know what is happening with crypto. We need to know what is happening with inflation. Inflation right now in Australia is extremely high. Is higher than ever. Inflation in USA, inflation in Argentina, inflation all over the world is going up. Everything is more expensive, and we need to be aware of it. The inflation is a big problem right now. Some governors, some politicians, they are trying to control the inflation by limiting the amount of money that is in the market. So what they do, they raise the interest rates. So people don't get money. so they can slow down the economy, so the inflation goes down. So have a look at the interest rates in Australia right now. Extremely high. If the interest rates are really high, people don't ask for money to the banks. So the consumption goes lower, inflation goes down. So we need to be sort of aware of these situations because that may affect us. You know, like Europe, listen to this. In the European Union, now, it was approved last week, you cannot spend more than $1,000 without reporting it in cash. I mean, you can spend it if you use your credit card, if you use you know, your debit account, you know, savings account. Yeah, okay, no worries, all good. But if you are using cash and you are trading something that is 1,000 euros above 1,000 euros, you need to report it. So if your business is selling items that could be bought in cash and the value of those items is 1,000 or 1,000 euros above, you need to be aware of that economical situation. All right? Have a look what is happening with the ATMs. The ATMs are being removed by the dozens every single week. Have a look at the banks. The banks are moving away. You don't have the traditional bank anymore. So the economy is moving towards people not using cash. The economy is moving towards people using electronic currencies. Is that good? Is that bad? That is up to you. I don't like it. I still prefer cash since I can keep and no. I mean, I am not part of a database. Remember what I told you about you being part of a database. But that is the way the world is going. But at least I am aware of it. We need to be aware of the economic situations of the world. All right. The next analysis is the S, the social analysis. All right, the social analysis. What is happening with society nowadays? What is happening with people? What people is doing? People is different compared to 10 years, 20 years ago. All right, people don't believe in education anymore. Let's be honest, and that is okay with me. Don't worry about it. But people, they don't believe in education. Like education, you going to a university 5 years, paying $120,000, and have a look at the situation. The universities are struggling, guys, struggling to get students because people have a perception, a social perception, that education has not evolved as everything else. And that is true. Education should be the axle for everything else to be developed, and everything is moving ahead, and education is the same that it was 20 years ago. That's not good. What else is happening with societies? People want more dogs, people want more cats, people want more pets, more than ever before. So we need to analyze that situation, especially if you have a business that is selling cat food. Would be the best business ever right now to have something around that. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Stay. So we need to analyze that. Yeah, what is happening with languages? People is learning more languages than ever before. Like right now, people give value to Spanish as a second language, like a lot of value. So if your business is an Spanish, language school, that is such a good business. Like such a good business. Like Spanish right now is so popular. And also English, of course, people understand that English is the language that everybody needs to know if they want to be in business. So we need to be aware of those situations. What is happening with health? We have an aging population, you know, like the natality. You know what is the natality rates or the birth rates? You understand what I mean with birth rates? The birth rate is lower than ever before. Like lower than like the birth rates is lower than ever, and the mortality rate is higher than ever before. So that means that we have an aging population. So what is a good business when you have aging population all over the place? Pharmacies. And have a look at your neighborhood. You will see that there is a couple of new pharmacies, because that is a good business. This is people that read the societal analysis to see what is happening. People is moving towards a change, and we need to be aware of that change, for good or for bad. It's not about judging, it's about understanding what is the situation now, what is happening, right? And finally, the technology analysis for the PEST to be completed. P, political; E, economical; S, social; T, technological analysis. So ChatGPT is, I told you this 2-3 weeks ago, remember, a month ago, and look what is happening now. Is taking the world by storm. Like ChatGPT is a technology that you should be using as I speak. You know, like you should have, I mean, it's not that you should not, because this is a very sensitive topic, but I invite you to explore the capabilities of ChatGPT for you to develop business perspectives, for you to develop new businesses, for you to make some money out of it. We shouldn't be afraid of the technology, guys, please, because I know that there is a lot of, oh, but that is not good because that uses your knowledge and that will replicate that knowledge exponentially. No, all right, let's not be afraid of the tool. Let's be afraid of we don't knowing how to use the tool. Know how to use the tool and then make a decision if you want to use it or not. The technological analysis in terms of what is happening with microprocessors in Taiwan is important. All right, everything is becoming extremely powerful, and manufacturing depends on those microprocessors from Taiwan. Okay? Understanding the situation between Taiwan and China, because China, they say, all right, Taiwan is part of us, and Taiwan goes like, no, we are independent from China. Okay? But what happens in Taiwan? All these microprocessors are designed in Taiwan. In China, when Mao was in power, a lot of people that were academics and people into technology, they moved down to Taiwan to escape from Mao. And they developed new industries, the majority of them in the technological arena. Have you been in Taiwan? It's all about technology, guys. It's crazy. But it's because of what happens with the Cultural Revolution when Mao was in power. So we should be aware of this situation. The PEST analysis is crazy. It's so important. I invite you to always be aware of political, economical, societal, and technological analysis. So that is the second point, I believe. Later on, you can watch those videos if you want. All right. Let me just go to the point number 3. All right, we talk a little bit about this and the difference between importation and exportation. So that is good. Point number 4. Let's have a look at that point number 4. That is something that is really good. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to
market analysis.
Just give me 1 second. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Good.
Market analysis is a necessary step for successful marketing. Understanding how a market works is a prerequisite for good marketing. Market analysis enables you to make well-informed decisions for the business. In today's world, time is the most precious asset. This video proposes the various ways of doing a quick international market analysis using online tools. Before we proceed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That little notification bell will also help you to be always informed about our latest updates. International market is more complex than the domestic market.
Yep.
This is primarily because of the large number of participating countries. However, it is essential to study market conditions for business. Following is the process of doing a quick international market analysis. Number 1. Understand the various foreign markets. Assessing and evaluating the working structure of the various foreign markets, which form the international market, is significant. Analyze the competitive environment of the international market. You should ensure that there will be no political and legal hindrances before initiating the trade. Look for potential in the market and take a step further accordingly. Your product should be capable of growing in the market opted by you. Number 2, develop a plan and implement it. Develop a proper plan for conducting an international market research. Decide how you will get the information related to the international markets. For example, if you've to conduct surveys, how will you conduct them? You can conduct them.
Just remember, don't to spend a lot of time in this planning phase, right? If you need to do planning, because that's good, try to do very fast planning.
Phones and mails. Ensure proper translation facilities while surveying. Your plan should focus on getting the maximum amount of data possible. Thereafter, start conducting the surveys. Communicate with the people abroad in order to get a clear understanding of the international market. Number 3, analyze the data collected. The last step is to analyze all the data collected. Organize the data and evaluate its suitability for your business. Examine the market in terms of the level of profitability it offers to you. Compare the level of profits with the costs involved. This will enable you to determine the suitability of the international market for your business. Following are the various online tools for doing a quick international market analysis.
And that is what really matters, using online tools to do quick international market analysis. I recommend using something that is called Google Trends. Have you used any time Google Trends? No idea what is Google Trends? Guys, that is something truly, truly amazing. Let me show you. So you just search for it, Google Trends in Google. All right, I need to do something with my setup because I have kids and probably it's not activated. But you do it. Go to Google Trends later on and research for any market, for any product, for any keyword. And you will see how the computer will do market research in microseconds. You can compare products, you can compare countries, you can do the research by population, statistical analysis like age, marital status, and so on. It's fantastic. Google Trends is amazing. All right? Or use a technology like ChatGPT, for example. So if you use ChatGPT, you may say, all right, please act as an expert international market analyst and give me critical data I need to know about New Zealand before I open this market for my company. My company is in the education industry. All right. So let's say, all right, I am asking ChatGPT, give me information as an international expert in understanding markets, and give me critical data that I need to know about New Zealand. Yeah, before I open this market for my company. My company is in the education industry. So let's see what the technology gives me. So the education system is very well developed. It's very strong. The population is around 5 million. We know that. All right. 100 nationalities. The competition is middle. Is highly regulated because of the government. The technology is reliable. The identity could be different compared to many countries, but also very similar to Australia, like as we discussed it, and so on. So these are ways to find out quickly insights about a market like New Zealand. I can continue and can say, okay, now give me 5 strategies I can use to open New Zealand in 2024. Partner with local institutions, fantastic. All right. Leverage online and digital learning, fantastic, like it. Offer unique, specialized products, great one. Build relationships with agents and recruiters and focus on sustainability and social responsibility, because obviously that is very important in New Zealand. Great. So that's what I mean, all right? For you to do international market research, try not to leave technology behind, because that will save you time and money. And remember, it's all about being fast. If you do traditional research, it may take you more time than actually you should need. Okay. So let's go back to the previous part. All right, cool. Let's have a look at the next video, which is about the global trends. We talk about the global trends. We talk about how important it is for us to understand what are the global trends for us to make decisions about our business. Let's have a look at this video then.
The 5 biggest global trends. In this video, I want to look at the 5 biggest global trends every business needs to be ready for right now. I cover each of these trends in more detail in my book, Business Trends in Practice, in which I outline the 25 plus trends that are redefining organizations, including technology and consumer trends. But let's look at the 5 global shifts I'm seeing at the moment. A changing relationship with our planet. As humans, we have basically exploited our planet. We've pumped greenhouse gases into the atmosphere from burning fossil fuels. We've polluted our oceans with plastic, destroyed habitats, and reduced biodiversity. As a result, we are already seeing things like abnormal weather patterns. We've had the apocalyptic floods in Germany, in New York, across China, and record temperatures in Moscow, wildfires in Greece, and hurricanes and tropical storms all over the world. On top of that, our world population is growing, which leads to increasing concerns around food security, migration, and so on. According to estimates, we have to increase food production by between 26% and 68% by 2050. And that's a big increase for an already struggling planet. I believe the emerging climate disaster is the biggest challenge humanity has ever faced. And I'm not alone. According to Ipsos, Globally, 73% of people agree that we are on course for a climate disaster. With the global majority agreeing that the world is facing a huge crisis, we can expect consumers to gravitate towards more sustainable options. And that means your organization must do everything it can to maximize its green credentials, rethinking your products, creating a sustainable supply chain, and eliminating emissions and waste in your business operations.
Sure.
In economic and political power. In a nutshell, by 2050, the list of the most economically and politically powerful countries in the world will look very different to today. China's economy, for example, is now predicted to overtake the United States by 2028, which is 5 years earlier than previously thought. And the combined economic power of the E7 economies, which is China, India, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, Indonesia, and Turkey, could be double that of the G7, the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom, Mexico, Russia, Indonesia, and Turkey. And the combined economic power of the E7 economies, which is China, India, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, Indonesia, and Turkey, could be double that of the G7, the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom by 2040. As economic power shifts, it will become more expensive to outsource to countries like India and China. At the same time, these economies could become strong markets for products and services. And this is something businesses will have to plan for right now. Growing divergence and polarization. There have been some notable examples of political fragmentation and growing divergence in recent years. Brexit is one example.
Or look what is happening with France right now. Did you notice what happened with Macron? That he was trying to raise the pension age by 2 years? How people is revolting against that? Like something outstanding is happening in France as I speak.
We've had President Trump withdrawing the US from the Paris Agreement on climate mitigation and even threatening to leave NATO. We are also seeing a technology trade war between the US and China, where they've banned Huawei, and China basically stops all artificial intelligence related exports to the US. And then we've had Russia announcing that it is now able to completely unplug from the rest of the world's internet and operate its own independent internet. So in short, after decades of countries drawing closer together, there are signs that they're beginning to consciously uncouple. And COVID-19 has exacerbated this further, with countries focusing on their domestic problems. This growing divergence may mean companies find themselves locked out of certain markets, and means relying on single overseas markets is a high-risk strategy. Shifting demographics. The global population in 2050 or even in 2030 will look very different from how it looks today. That's because the population is growing globally. What's more, populations are getting older, the middle class is growing, and people are increasingly living in urban areas. As an example, the number of mega cities, those classified by the UN cities with 10 million or more inhabitants, is also on the rise. By 2030, there will be 43 mega cities, which is up from 33 in 2018. Clearly, the business opportunities around these shifting demographics are huge. Social, cultural, and workplace shifts. The workplace demographic is also shifting significantly. The number of Gen Zers and millennials in the workplace is on the rise, and baby boomers are retiring. And with this changing workplace come changing expectations and priorities. As an example, 65% of people want to work for an organization with a powerful social conscience. How we work is changing too. 1 in 5 global employees now work remotely, at least some of the time. And the coronavirus pandemic will only accelerate this work from anywhere culture. Organizational structures will become more fluid, and more people will expect to float between teams, roles, and employers. The days of the job for life are well and truly gone. And more people will work in the gig economy as freelancers and free agents. All employers must therefore assess their working practices to see whether they are offering this changing workforce the working environment they want and expect, one where people have greater flexibility, a better work-life balance, and a meaningful connection with the brands they work for. These 5 global trends represent very real opportunities and risks for all businesses. To learn more about these and other future trends, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website.
Really good video. Like this really give us a good perspective in terms of what could happen in the next 20 years. So it's a good video for us to proactively, predictably start moving our businesses towards what could be happening in the next 20 years. Good one. Good one. All right. So we're about to finish, guys. Now we need, as for the last point, let's have a read to it. As a marketing practitioner, we should develop marketing recommendations from the research that we have done, according to organizational policies and procedures. So in this point of the class, which is the last point, by the way, we need to match whatever we do in terms of market research with the policies and procedures of the organization. If the organization goes and say, look, you cannot go to China, you cannot explore China as a potential market because that is our policy, then you cannot do that. All right. So it's not about we doing international market research for the sake of doing it. It's doing international market research that will fit the policies and procedures of the company that we're working for. All right. So these recommendations are the very essence of our profession. If we are not ready for us to give recommendations to the business in terms of which markets they should explore and which ones they should not explore, then we are not fulfilling the very purpose of our profession, guys. I'm going to repeat this, please. If you are not ready to provide advice to your organization, which markets they should pursue and which ones they should not, then you are not mature enough yet to fulfill the role of you being a marketing professional, right? So let's be aware of it. We cannot pretend for a second that our only market is the local market. If we don't explore international market research opportunities, we will be missing on better suppliers and providers. We will be missing on new customers for the company, and we will be missing on a knowledge that could help us to be more efficient and productive. All right. So, guys, to finish the class, I want you to tell me what is your opinion. What is your opinion about this particular topic, international market research? Do you think it matters? Do you think it is important to you as a marketing professional? Do you think that you are more capable now, that you have more tools now to research international markets? Or you think that this is just the very beginning of a journey that you should keep exploring as you go? This is important as well, remember, because we have an observation assessment. So I will appreciate the feedback from those that are here in this class today. Let's start with Juan Manuel. Juan Manuel, go ahead, please.
Well, for me, I think I need to learn a lot more of this because there are many subjects to analyze where you're doing an international market research. We talk about demographic details and culture and stuff, but I think there are still more that maybe we should to analyze so we can have clearer information about our market. And yeah, I think it's super important because that will give us an idea of what in which territory, speaking generally, not just for countries, are we gonna work? Are we gonna perform? I mean, yeah, like develop our marketing skills.
Fantastic. Agree with you 100%. Is such a big topic. Like international market is extremely complex compared to local traditional marketing. International marketing demands you to have a lot of knowledge in terms of many things, but not deeply. You need to know a lot of situations, but you are not specialized. And it's difficult to get to that point because you need to read a lot, you need to talk to a lot of people, you need to be aware of many demographic, psychographic, and geographic variables. But that's okay. I agree with you. And it's the same for me. International marketing is such a huge topic, and it changes every day anyway. You know, like, have a look at that video that we saw just before. Russia is looking at developing their own internet. That sort of things change the way we do things. Juan Manuel, fantastic. Thank you for your participation in today's class, mate. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. Well done. All right, guys. Juan Manuel, I will be taking this for your observation assessment as well.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
So that will help you in your observation. Maria, what is your perspective? Do you think this is a topic that is critical for us marketing people? How do you feel about it? Do you share your opinion with Juan that we still need to learn a lot about this topic? Please go on.
Yes, I think that there's a lot to learn, that globally everything is different in different areas, so we have to learn a lot about how to go into different markets and do different businesses, because people is different in different countries. So, and still the people doesn't know what is better for them either. So that's a lot to learn, both sides, like as a consumer and as a business.
Agree with that point. Really, really good conclusion of the class. Maria, same. Thank you so much for coming today, and I appreciate your insights.
Thank you.
And I will see you next class. All right.
Thank you.
Lorena, thank you. Lorena, just before Juan Manuel and Maria leave the class, what do you think? Do you share with the other students that we still need to learn a lot about international marketing? How do you feel about this particular topic? Please give us your opinion.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot to learn because just thinking about how many possible markets we have and learning about every single government development can be very, very difficult and time consuming. So it's difficult, and I think you can't really be aware of everything is going on everywhere, because that would make you very slow. So you need to focus a little bit also on that. I mean, you can't know everything, so you should choose what's better to focus on very fast, so that you can focus better, because otherwise it's slowing you down as all the other things we were talking about before.
That was very, very smart. I agree with you. It's such a big topic that if we try to have it all, we are going to diffuse on the very topic. We need to choose what is the area for us to specialize, what kind of area in international marketing, legislation, culture, language, currency, competitive analysis, or suppliers, which is how we started this class today. That was a tremendous analysis. Congratulations on it. Guys, thank you very much. I will see you next class. Remember that the next class we need to do 2 assessments, observation and the online quiz. So please don't fail. Another thing, please catch up with your assessments, guys. We need to catch up with the assessments. I don't want you guys to get so behind, because then I have to work 3 or 4 times more anyway. So start catching up with your assessments. And if you need help with your assessments, just get a one-to-one meeting with me. Let me know and I help you out. But please start catching up with the assessments guide. Thank you for today's class, and I will see you next Friday.
Thank you, Santi.
Thank
See
you,
you
guys.
next Friday.
See you next Friday, guys. Bye.